Hello, hi, my name's Adrian and I'm a life coach working in the Bristol area, Bristol, England. I love life coaching. I think it is an amazing intersection where we can hopefully really do some good. I'm not recording this video in high tech really, and I'm not really putting too much emphasis into the presentation of the video, which you can probably see. I think that's a really great area of life coaching, that people do really focus on success and achieving. I think that's absolutely brilliant. But sometimes I think it's good as well just to focus on content in terms of looking at things that really have well-being, people's well-being at the heart of it, which of course that does too. Focus-based life coaching, where we're looking at strategies for achieving those goals, that absolutely has people's well-being at heart. But there's also perhaps a holistic aspect of well-being, or another aspect of well-being which perhaps differs slightly, maybe. Anyway, what I'm interested in talking about is what I'd call transcendental techniques. So what I would ask is, can we use transcendental techniques within life coaching? What is transcendental technique? What are transcendental techniques? What are examples of transcendental techniques, and how could we use them in coaching? So broadly speaking, I think it's probably good to say that transcendental technique is a technique which moves from the individual I identity to a wider identity. So the term transcending, it really, in many ways at least, I think we could sum it up by saying that it transcends the individual egoic self, and that can have great benefit in terms of people's well-being, because it's about interconnectedness in many ways. It's also about a wider self. It's about potentially a higher self. And so I think it's really interesting to talk about how and if we can bring that into life coaching. I think life coaching is a super interesting area to work in, and potentially has a lot to offer people. Various types of counselling may have amazing things about them, absolutely, but I think there are some really wonderful things about life coaching, and I think it could be an interesting discussion as to whether we can bring, and to what extent we can bring, transcendental techniques or a transcendental aspect into life coaching. So that really is the theme of just these little mini series of short videos that I'm just gonna do. And if you feel they're interesting, it'd be really cool to hear what you think, because I really think this is something that we can discuss and potentially really can benefit. Essentially, I think the transcendental aspect is really the metaphysical aspect, and thus really is the spiritual aspect. And traditionally this has been given to religion in many senses, and that's great, but is it now the time that people really are in a stage of real development where true growth can be experienced? It really looks like that's the case. I mean, the internet brings amazing connectivity where we can share so much knowledge that a real shift seems imminent, if not already occurring. And this shift is amazing, because we are perhaps by this shift talking about a shift from individual to collective global consciousness. So I hope you might be interested, and we'll talk in the next video about just first video, number one, what is transcendental, and then we'll just go from there. Thanks.